Hey guys, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, taking CoffeeShop Vibes on the road. Since I'm traveling for work, I figure maybe we go to a coffee shop and I can show you what I look for at a coffee shop. Hey guys, I'm Mike, and of course my wife and I, we started Ispirare Coffee, and then 2 years ago we took an abandoned storefront in our hometown of Kittanning, Pennsylvania, and turned it into the first specialty coffee house in the 300-year history of our county and town. Long story short, every time I do a video, CoffeeShop Vibes, the purpose is to help enhance your specialty coffee shop experience. If you're like me, every time you're traveling somewhere, you like to visit new coffee shops, and I'm trying to answer some of the most commonly asked questions we get in the coffee house, and questions about specialty coffee and things that'll make your coffee shop experience better. All right, guys, hey, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Here we go. All right, so I don't know where I'm walking, but I'm just gonna walk, find an espresso bar. The best thing to do is just simply go to Google. Do I look too cool or too dorky in my shades? Anyway, all I do is just go to Google. There's no secret. You know, when you're in a big city, of course, there's gonna be at least a handful. What you want is a specialty coffee house, not some dive kiosk in some apartment. You want to look for a true specialty coffee house, and you can just simply do that by going to Google. Beautiful day here in Cleveland. Look at that. Beautiful. And they're closed. All right, guys. So about last night, actually, I tried to go to a coffee shop and it was after 5. So yeah, they all close early. Most of them close at 2, I guess, when I just Googled them. But it's now the next morning. We're still in wonderful Cleveland on a beautiful Tuesday morning. So I'm gonna make a quick stop at a coffee shop. Now again, I might not film here, or I might not talk into the camera inside, because that's even more dorky than doing this walking down the sidewalk. But and to be respectful. But I am gonna check it out right across the street. It's called Stone Fruit Coffee. I've heard of them. I obviously have never been to their coffee shop. Don't know much about them. We're gonna find out. So again, I'm gonna share with you what I look for when I walk into a coffee shop. So we'll see. Here we are. All right, so I walk in, there's a lot going on and some unique names on their menu. Couldn't help but notice that big Cleveland mural. There's their espresso machine. Oh, and finally, there is their actual drink menu right there, what to get now. So I ended up going with just the coffee, and the barista is making it as pour over as I wait. So what I noticed right away there is the service is really good. So I am impressed by that. I love the window bars. You know, I think in a city that's quintessential. I remember the first time that I really had a great coffee experience in New York City, where me and Amber sat at a window bar late November in New York. It was just so cool, and I just remember that. So I always like city window bars. So anyway, great service. I will say that coffee was so-so, but lately I've been finding a lot of specialty coffee houses, their service, the front of the house service has not been the friendliest. So I was thrilled that they're actually phenomenally friendly. They're the crew at Stone Fruit. Anyway, cool little shop, cool little space, a nice city shop. Not super big at all, but a cool place just to grab a coffee. Anyway, it's a good place. I like the whole atmosphere. I'm sure they have different coffees, and this is just my taste, and I would try something else there. But a cool little place. I'm gonna go into detail now what I like best about it and what I noticed first. Again, the first thing I noticed here was their menu, and they had a lot of weird names like Bean Me Up or Grizzly Coffee. And that just made me want to get a regular coffee. And there's no doubt their shop was beautiful. I love the art on the walls. I love the space. And it was a nice environment, especially in a city for coffee. So glad to be here at Stone Fruit Coffee. I always take a peek at their espresso machine and equipment, and then always look for the best place to sit. All right, and a couple other quick questions to ask. Obviously, you should ask, maybe what type of coffee they're serving. Some of that's known because they put it up there. Some coffee shops, you might not know if they use their own coffee or have another specialty coffee roaster. Obviously, I knew this was Stone Fruit. Did they have their own coffee? One of my favorite questions to ask, because I'm an espresso drinker, is actually what's your espresso, or what coffee you have is espresso. I like to ask that, and sometimes depending on the answer, I might just get a simple espresso. Finally, a good question to ask is, what are your sizes, right? Particularly around lattes. A lot of specialty coffee shops make lattes different sizes, so make sure you ask that question as well. As for what I noticed in this shop, here it is. To kind of recap, put it all together, I know that was a long monologue by me. But as someone who works on this side of the bar, right, and understands what I do about coffee, these are the things I look for when I walk into a specialty coffee shop, especially for the first time. The first thing I look at is the menu, right? I want to see, hey, is there something they're promoting? There might be a specialty thing that the coffee shop is known for. They might have seasonal drinks, sort of like how we do here at Ispirare. So that's the very first thing, right? The second thing, of course, I'm an espresso guy, coffee shop guy. I like to look at the espresso machine. If it's a good espresso machine, then that tells me, in my opinion, tells me they're serious about the coffee, the specialty coffee, and you might be able to get a good espresso there, maybe. Third, which is becoming just more and more important and more frustrating as I visit other coffee shops, is service. I know it's such a big thing for us. I think it's really the key to the business here in Kittanning. Are they nice, right? And if the person does not greet me well, then typically maybe I'll just get a coffee and get out of there. So I think it's super important. I think the whole experience is really dictated by how you're greeted and the friendliness of the staff. So that's something obviously, we always notice. Finally, for me, I like to look at the lay of the land of the coffee shop. Is there a best seat, particularly if I'm coming in for a business meeting? I used to have a lot of business meetings in coffee shops. So if I'm coming into work per se, I look for maybe where there's a seat with an outlet or a seat where I can have a little bit of my own space and enjoy the ambiance. So I'm kind of looking at the lay of the land. Is there a better seat? In my case here at the coffee shop, I love sitting up at the front window bar to the right. I have an outlet. I have kind of a little square there for me. Anyway, I do look kind of the lay of the land of the coffee shop and say, hey, this is where I want to sit if I'm sitting down. So those are the 4 things I look for in a specialty coffee shop. But yeah, love to hear your thoughts, what you look for. But I think just looking at those things can give you a little bit of better sense, or even make your stay or make your visit a little bit more enjoyable. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon on another edition of Coffee Shop Vibes.